make me sick. Wait a minute. No, you don't. I make me sick. What makes you sick? For some people, everything makes them sick. Okay, today we're going to talk about therapeutic vomiting, okay? And the reality is, if I talk about therapeutic vomiting, everybody thinks about bulimia, that I'm going to eat and then throw up. That's dangerous. I get that part, okay? I get it. And that is a mental, emotional sickness, okay? I'm not good enough. But we're not talking about that today. And understand something. Therapeutic vomiting can save your life. And you think I'm kidding? I'm not. It can help you not create an autoimmune disease. And understand something. Do you know what you swallow physically and emotionally? That's what makes you sick. Because guess what? You're not making proper choices. You don't know how to filter what you eat. You don't know how to filter your emotions. You're going to be sick all the time, okay? And I understand it. You know what? Think about it, okay? Did you know that 60 to 80% of all our suffering is from here to our pelvis? Isn't it? It is. Most of our suffering is here, okay? And then eventually it shows up at a weak point somewhere around your body, okay? Depending on your emotional beliefs and your ability to process emotions, or which ones you can't process, will determine the dis-ease that you're going to have. Now, did you get what I said? Do you ever notice how somebody gets upset about something but somebody else doesn't get upset about it? That's right, because we all have different perception about things. We all have a different filter. We all have things that set us off or don't set us off. But what if you were to teach yourself not to get set off? What if you were to teach yourself to stay calm? What if you were to teach yourself that you were going to stay in your conscious mind and not allow your subconscious mind to rule, school, and fool you, which has been programmed by society's systems? Yes, it has. Let me tell you something. We're going to get to the therapeutic vomiting in a second. But you need to understand something. I have been working as hard as I can with all the love in my heart to change my programs in my mind so I am not a landmine, so that I do not hurt my fellow man, woman, child, or any animal on this planet. That is the goal, that we try to do that. And if you can, that's the only way that you are going to find heaven on earth. Because what you hate, you cannot digest. It will sit inside of you. It will ruin your stomach, and then it'll get in your small intestine and ruin that, and then go into your large intestine and putrefy and then poison your body. You cannot digest hate. You cannot digest anger. Hey, listen, I'm not saying that I've never gotten angry before, but it's how long do you stay angry? Okay, hate, I don't want anything to do with hate. Hate has no benefit at all. And guess what? They teach us to hate each other. And that's why we're sick to our stomach. Because you can't be spirit beings and then not pay on a physical level, okay, with your stomach not being tied in knots, because it's wrong. Because spirit, light energy beings do not hate. We can get angry, but don't stay there long. Say your piece, do what you need to do, okay? But try not to destroy while you're at it, okay? So, the stomach. Let's talk about the stomach just for a few minutes, okay? Your stomach is the guard dog to bacteria, virus, parasites, fungus, mold, things of that nature. So the reality is, if your hydrochloric acid in your stomach is not strong enough, then you do not have a guard dog. Your stomach is the guard dog. And it helps to destroy this stuff so it doesn't get into your small intestine, because that's where the real havoc starts. You can even get SIBO, right? Small intestine bacterial overgrowth. Why? Because my hydrochloric acid was so weak because I'm such a drama queen or king. Every time that you lose it, every time that you cannot stay connected to your breath, have that heart-brain connection, Okay? So everything and all your emotions need to come up through your heart first. Let me tell you something. The next time that somebody tries to push your buttons, I want you to just take 1 to 3 lion heart breaths. I don't care if what would you rather do? Would you rather cause trouble for yourself and break something or hurt something, or just take a lion heart breath? Just go, even 1. And then see how your reaction is going to change. See how it calms you down fast enough so that you don't create a problem. Look, okay, we're going to do the therapeutic vomiting, but I need you to understand what's going on here. So the psycho elite have programmed all of the systems that were meant to protect you, okay, to terrorize you. Don't tell me that he's got 5 PhDs and he's so smart, okay, when he can't think logical and he's actually doing the job of a terrorist. Do you understand? Enough of that. If I have to listen to, oh, he's so smart because he went to school for 25 years, I think I'm just going to throw off myself. The reality is I know people that only have a grade 8 education, and guess what? They're more smarter than the people that have gone to school. And I'm not saying all people, but guess what? The longer you go to school, the more chance you have of being institutionalized, programmed. Now understand this. What is it that most of society's systems are doing right now? They're causing you to have anxiety. They're causing you to push the panic button. They're causing you, and if not that, they're causing you to feel uneasy. Like, did you ever walk on rocks on a driveway and they're big enough that, kind of keeps you off your balance a little bit? Well, that's all they want to do. They want to keep you off your balance to wear you down, and then they want to sucker punch you in the face. And that's what's going on right now. And believe it or not, all of those people that are here just doing their job, protecting and serving, they're the ones that are serving us the BS that we swallow, that makes us sick to our stomach, okay? And then if we don't understand that and we fill our stomach up with BS and it gets past the stomach into the small intestine, then it will be broken down and absorbed starting there. But then when it gets to the large intestine, it putrefies. And then guess what? When it putrefies, then guess what? Now you'll have a pelvis full of poop. You think I'm kidding? Well, leaky gut is not about the small intestine. It can happen there, but the main leaky gut is the root organ, which is your large intestine. You get root rot, and then you fill up your pelvis with infection and inflammation, all because you swallowed the BS that you couldn't digest, and you made yourself sick to your stomach, okay? And you're doing it all the time. So every time that you feel sick to your stomach, you are taking in beliefs, thoughts that you can't digest because you shouldn't have taken them in anyways. Like I said earlier in a one-a-day, you know what? I'm not going to eat crap off the plate, and I'm not going to listen to crap. I'm going to walk away from it. I'm not going to hang around with friends or family or people that talk crap anymore. And if you don't want to protect your frequency, your emotion, your vibration, okay, then you're going to be part of this inflammation nation until you have mutation, and there it is right there. Because the thought, okay, the thought is the most important thing, and the thought actually, guess what, becomes a physical thing. So if I have really beautiful thoughts and I stay away from low vibrational negative people that get off on what? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. Think about the people in your family that don't know how to trigger the serotonin and dopamine and stay in a parasympathetic state. And they're always coming home. Did you hear? Did you hear? Oh my God, I was just going down the street and you know what I saw? And then on the radio, and then on the TV, and then, oh my God, did you hear what they're gonna do? They're gonna come and knock our doors down and steal our children. So the reality is this, we all have to calm down. We have to take a look at the information. We have to take a look at our life, and we need to strategize. And we need to calm down and strategize like they did. They're very calm. They go, my God. Did you ever see that movie, Monsters, Inc.? Okay. Well, in Monsters, Inc., okay, that was not an animation made up cartoon. That was real life. Because in Monsters, Inc., what they were doing is the monsters were coming into the children's rooms, okay, and they were terrifying the children, okay, and making the children sick to their stomach. But guess what? The pain and suffering was driving the industry, was driving the whole world. That's where they got all their energy from. Monsters, Inc. was not a cartoon animation. It's real life. And understand something. That's what goes on out there. So if you don't understand that part, okay, then you're always going to be feeling sick to your stomach. My stomach is tied in knots, okay? I can't stomach you. I can't stomach this, okay? I've got a headache. My joints are all sore. I've got arthritis. I've got inflammation. Just know that it all starts there. It starts at the front door. It starts here and here, right? I can't swallow that. Well, you just did. So now what happens when you take in negative thoughts that you can't process, or things that upset you because you've let them upset you because you really need to learn how to become a Braveheart and do your Braveheart work, right? 3, 2, 1, I got this. So go take a look at my Braveheart 12 Loving Steps. But the reality is this. If you take in emotion, okay, you do. You swallow emotion, which is what? It's actually invisible. And that will go in and believe what it does. You know what it does? It dilutes your hydrochloric acid. When you dilute the hydrochloric acid, you're no longer going to kill the parasites, the fungus, the viruses, and the bacteria that come in that should not enter into your small intestine. So in that acidic environment, it's just going to destroy it. Now, the reality is if you are in fight, flight mode all the time, flight mode all the time, then you freeze up your stomach. And what happens is the energy from your digestive tract in your stomach goes out to your arms and your legs. So you can continually deplete the energy that your stomach needs to make the hydrochloric acid, to be the guard dog, to protect what's coming in. So there's the thing. And they know this. It's all just science. So we know that our hydrochloric acid, as we get older, gets weaker. So I'm going to tell you right now, go to the drugstore, go to wherever, I don't care what store you go to, go buy hydrochloric acid capsules. And if you're going to eat animal protein, or you're going to even eat vegetable protein like beans or lentils and things of that nature, if you haven't got your emotional life together, you're going to need 2 to 3 capsules at every concentrated protein meal, because you're not digesting it because you don't have the hydrochloric acid. And if your hydrochloric acid is weak, then the pepsin, which is an enzyme to digest the protein, won't do it. So now the foodstuffs are going to go from your stomach and go into your small intestine, not prepared properly, because it's an assembly line. Because by the time it gets there, hopefully you were supposed to be calm. And first of all, never sit down and eat anything when you're eating yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you have anxiety, when you have panic, when you're totally exhausted, stressed out. I will not eat, okay? I do not digest well after 7 o'clock at night. So I just won't eat after 7. And if I did, it would going to be something light and something that I like. You know what I mean? It could be fruit, or it could be a blender drink, but I'm not going to eat any cooked food or any concentrated food, because I know that I'm not going to digest it. I'm a blood type A. Blood type A have the weakest hydrochloric acid of any of the blood types. Blood type O, they have caveman blood type, so they could eat the arse out of a rhino on the run. So, and they could. But blood type O's, they can digest all this stuff, but then they don't usually eat too good because, I can digest anything. And then they usually wake up and they've got a tumor in their tummy or their pelvis, because you still get toxic, right? You got to follow the rules of nature. But O's can digest a lot better, okay? And then ABs are the next, and then Bs are the next, and then A's, like myself, we have very sensitive stomachs that, we're more of a whole plant-based eaters. And if we're not, then we're always walking around complaining about our digestive tract. But listen, it all comes down to this. The more stressed out you are, the lower your hydrochloric acid is going to be. The more that you eat cooked food, junk food, processed food, addictive foods, or addictive things like drugs, or you do alcohol too much, you're destroying the hydrochloric acid. Now, about 80% of the population by the time that they're in their 50s and 60s, they have about a 1/16 inch layer of mucus inside their stomach. And that doesn't allow the hydrochloric acid to come in either. So as you get older, you have to eat things that are easier to digest, that have enzymes, that have water, that have fiber, that they're alive. So the older you get, the more whole plant-based diet that you need. Do you remember when you could eat a pizza and it could have double cheese and it could have pepperoni and a whole bunch of other things on it? I can remember when I was in my 20s, I could eat a whole pizza. When I was in my early 20s, I'd eat a whole pizza. And I mean a whole pizza, a big one. And today, well, today I don't eat pizza. I did eat pizza a few months ago. And you know what? It was a gluten-free pizza. And I'll tell you, it did not do well for me. So I don't know about this gluten-free thing. Anyways, we went to these people's houses. I could not digest it. So, but after 2 pieces of that, I was done. I was done. Now, why was I done? Because my hydrochloric acid has become weaker. Because whether you know this or not, when I was in my 20s, okay, around 26, 27, just gotten out of school, opened up my business. All right, I tell this story because every week I'd get like a migraine headache around Friday because I would just stress myself out. And then I started taking these heavy-duty migraine pills. And you have to understand, all drugs destroy your hydrochloric acid production. All drugs destroy your hydrochloric acid production. And you ever know when people have like acid problems like heartburn or GERD or any of that, what does a doctor give them? Antacids. So they're destroying their hydrochloric acid. So that person's going to get cancer or some autoimmune disease. It's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh, I'm on antacids. Well, that's really smart. Okay, so now, so what I did was I actually destroyed my hydrochloric acid because I was taking these migraine tablets because I couldn't control my own emotions or stress, right? Okay, so there you go. That was part of my upbringing. It was part of my belief system. So when I finally realized I had to change my beliefs and my thoughts, or stay on these heavy-duty drugs and destroy my digestive tract, which would destroy my whole life. So the healthier the diet, the more pure the diet, the more structured water you drink. Food combining. Do you ever think about food combining? You shouldn't mix protein and starch together. Never have 2 proteins at one meal. Okay, make sure that you always chew your food, that your solids become liquid, and make sure that when you take and you drink liquids that you, if you can, if there's nutrients in it, just hold it in your mouth for a minute and then swallow it. Okay, so there are certain rules. Never sit down and eat when you're stressed out or really exhausted, because that's not going to go well. It takes energy to digest. It takes 70% of your energy all day long if you ate 3 meals. 70% of your energy goes to digest 3 meals. Okay, the same amount of energy that it takes to digest those meals, you could have walked 10 miles. Okay, so that's why I eat 1 meal a day, and I have a blender drink maybe 5 days out of 7 days throughout the week. And that's all I eat. And the reality is I'm full of energy because we are light energy beings, and we get our energy from our emotions. So somebody who hasn't handled or mastered their emotions is always going to be eating. And somebody that has anxiety is a snacker. And that's why I will not hire people that are always wanting to snack all the time, because I know that they are terrorists to themselves, which means they'll be terrorists to everybody else. So it's really important that you find your calm, because all of that anxiety, all of that panic, all of that frustration, it's actually destroying the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, because your stomach is the first place that gets hit by your emotions on a positive or on a negative level. So I hope you're getting this, okay? And remember, all the time that you're having anxiety, you're producing acid, not hydrochloric acid, but cortisol, okay, histamine, and adrenaline. So the energy's got to go somewhere. So you're either making hydrochloric acid so you can digest the meal, and if you're all stressed out, you're not going to be making that. You're going to be making fight or flight. But the problem is that they've got it down pat. You know, after hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years, the elite has got it down pat. They bought up all the media, they bought up the TV, they bought up the newspapers, and the banksters are all part of it. So it doesn't matter where you go. They've got this terrorizing game that in the next 2 to 2.5 years, you will be terrorized more than you've ever been terrorized throughout your whole life combined. Do you understand what I'm saying? Unless you get in charge of this and you go, I'm going to ignore the bully. I'm going to strategize. So yes, they may try to do that, but I'm going to do this before they do that. Or you can be like everybody else and be sick to your stomach because you're making yourself sick to your stomach because you've never learned how to master your emotions. And guess what? On this planet, not learning how to master your emotions, are you like crazy? Are you like crazy? E equals MC squared. Energy creates mass. Okay, we are emotional beings. We start off with an image, it goes to a thought. The thought goes to what? It goes to what? An emotion. Is the emotion negative or is it positive? Because every time it's negative, you're dumping histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol. If it's positive and it's beautiful, then you're dumping serotonin and dopamine, which means la la la, I love my life. So the reality is, even if there's a disaster or a crisis going on in the world, I don't care. If I can't do anything about it, I can't care. I got to care for me. I got to mind my own business. Oh no, you got to bring the drama into you, try to swallow it, try to see if you can process it. You know, people that go and watch the news for a half an hour, they got the worst news everywhere around the world, smacked into a half an hour, and that's called their life. So guess what? Their digestion is so messed up, they'll have so many bowel problems, they're going to have so many diseases, they're going to suffer for the rest of their life. Because guess what? You didn't mind your own business. There it is. Now let's talk about therapeutic vomiting. So I'm going to be doing a doc demo, and I'm doing it this weekend, right? On Sharon?
Yep.
Yeah. Sharon is, she's a master practitioner, and she's coming to Mexico to Ixtapa Palace World Healing and Training Center, which that's where I'm moving to. And please, I'm not running away anybody. This was planned for 3 years. You can't open up a 220 room resort and make it into a World Healing Center because COVID happened and you're on the run. That's not what's going down here. So just so you know that, because people go on, oh, lucky for you, Dr. Wolf, you get to run away. I'm not running anywhere. Do I look like the kind of guy that runs? Okay, I'm not going to run into the fire, okay, and go look for a fight. But I'm not running from anybody, okay, because I'm calm. I got this, okay. I know what I want, and I'm going to get it, and that's all. So now, anyway, she's going to be coming on. What day is she coming on? Can you tell me?
Saturday.
She's coming on Saturday, and we're going to be talking. And she's a practitioner, and she's been working on her health for a long time. And we'll go through the process. And guess what? What do you think the clincher was for Sharon to get her life together? Therapeutic vomiting. Never heard about it before, have you? No, nobody has, because I pretty well, I heard about it somewhere back when I was in my 20s. And it saved my bacon. Let me tell you something, because I was not in control of this. So I was out of control with this, and it was eating me up. Okay? All right. So it's kind of crazy, right? So, when you get heartburn, okay, when you get GERD, when you feel really tight in your joints or you feel pressure throughout your body, this is all the acidity that you're creating, but it's not the acidity you think. It's not from the hydrochloric acid. Now, if you don't watch out for yourself and you kind of boil, oh, you make me so mad, and you get lots of anxiety, it's like you boil the hydrochloric acid in here and it bubbles up, and it can actually go into your lungs and cause lung problems. Oh yeah, serious bad ones. It can cause heart disease. It can cause cancer of the throat. Oh yeah. Okay. And when it gets in here, into your lungs, too much of it, you can hardly breathe. And it will tear you down. So understand something. For those of you who do not want to do therapeutic vomiting, you need to look at taking baking soda. Now, don't believe the stuff where they say that baking soda is full of aluminum and you got to buy the expensive stuff from the health food store, because they made that up. Because actually aluminum is in baking powder, not in baking soda. So if you start to get heartburn, I'm not telling you to do therapeutic vomiting. I'm telling you to take a teaspoon, a rounded teaspoon, into a glass of room temperature, a little bit warm water, about 10 to 12 ounces. Take it in, stir it, drink it. I know it tastes a little salty, and then what's going to happen is you're going to maybe burp a little, fart a little, but you're going to have the relief that you want. And if you're the type of person that's going, I'm on medication, I've got depression, I've got anxiety, this is just a program and you're just pushing the button. I've got a sleep apnea machine because I can't breathe. Well, yeah, that's anxiety too. And a sleep apnea machine is only going to cripple you. All of these things cripple you. Tell me the medical system creates anything that empowers us. Come up with it and put it down underneath here right now. Put it down. I want to know. So everything they do, it disempowers us and it makes us worse. Okay? So, I can't sleep at night. Well, guess what? That's you stressing out, messing up the hydrochloric acid throughout your body, adrenaline, cortisol, the histamine, the whole damn thing. So, you're going to have to learn how to calm down. But I can't calm down because I'm running a program. I've always been having anxiety, worry, and stress. And understand, the elite knew that if you couldn't handle yourself before COVID and you were worried about money, you were worried about your children, worried about life, worried about love, worry, they know that you're going to off yourself in the next 2 to 2.5 years. You heard what I said. Most people are on their way there already, and I don't want them to be there. Why do you think I'm on here? Why do you think I come on here, stir things up, and then have people come on and bash me, and then tell me that I'm just not a nice guy? Well, understand something. What do you want? Do you want me to just stroke you, or do you want me to say, hey, I'm loving the heck out of you, and I'm going to take a chance here, and hopefully somebody wakes up. So now you're going to do the baking soda. If you're the heartburn king, I would tell you to do baking soda, a teaspoon of it, first thing in the morning when you wake up. So go to the bathroom because it does help you clean out if you're backed up a little bit. And then I would tell you to do it again mid-afternoon. If you start to feel heartburn, ever start to come on again, go do your baking soda. Keep a baggie at work, keep a baggie in the car glove compartment, because until you can manage your emotions. Now, does baking soda hurt you? Absolutely not. But you're not going to do baking soda anywhere like 15 minutes prior to eating. And you're not going to do baking soda for at least a half an hour to 40 minutes after you eat. All other rules are off the table. You can do the baking soda. Why? Because you don't want to use baking soda to bring down the acid that's eating you up, because it also will bring down your hydrochloric acid and you might blow up because you need that to break up your food. None of this is dangerous, okay? You're dangerous already. And I guarantee you, your practitioner's probably dangerous too, okay? And if they're not dangerous, they're probably ineffective. Because the reality is what I'm going to be showing you, especially when I move into my new home, Ixtapa Palace in Mexico, we're going to be bringing people on from all over the world. And we're going to be doing so many trainings to help to support you and make sure that, let's put it this way. I'm going to give you enough information that if you wanted to become that Braveheart warrior and save the day for yourself and be the light for your family, we're going to offer that to you. Okay? So now, baking soda twice a day, and even if you did it twice a day and you feel a little bit of heartburn coming on, take some more. And the reality is this: every time that you start to get heartburn, just know that you have anxiety, you're panicking, okay, or you've taken in too many acidic, inflammatory thoughts or food or drink, okay? So just go back and track it and see if you can just become conscious in the present moment so that you can make a change here. Would you do that for me? Please do it for yourself, okay? So you've got to become conscious. So, get yourself a hairband or something and snap yourself back to the present moment. This is why we do this. That's a kiss, this is a hug, snug is a hug. And I've been wearing this now for probably about almost 20 years I've been doing this. And it saved my life, it changed my life, okay? And I made up this Braveheart 321. I got this. And I'll go, there's a new sheriff in town. You'll see me on a show unconsciously when I say something and I'm having trouble believing what I just said. You'll see me unconsciously do this because I'm trying to nail it in my subconscious, because my subconscious is not accepting it, but I've already accepted it. I know it on a conscious level, but my subconscious says, no, that's too far from the truth that I already have. But the truth that my subconscious has isn't true, because you don't realize that 70-90% of all your beliefs were created by someone else. So you are someone else doing something else until you find your authentic self. So the baking soda is going to be really important. Some people will do like apple cider vinegar and baking soda. That upsets me, maybe because I'm a blood type A. I just do the baking soda and water, or you can do baking soda and put that in and squeeze lemon in, and that'll activate it, but then you got to drink it right away. So find if it's baking soda, a little bit of lemon. Find if it's baking soda, a little bit of apple cider vinegar. But I'm just a baking soda guy, and I still do baking soda. So, and I'll tell you why. Is it because I can't get my emotions together? Well, I wouldn't say I got them together 100%, but the reality is, Drake, do I sometimes have too much going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I have too much going on, I can feel a little bit of rumbling and acid going on, and I'm going, okay, let's calm this down. Because the last thing I want is heartburn, right? I'm smart enough to know that I don't have to have heartburn, and heartburn is a killer. It's a killer. So you stop it, okay? And a lot of people get heartburn too when their love life is not right, okay? They'll break their heart. I have an empty heart. My heart's in pieces. Your heart is the recorder of all your love relationships. How's that going? Not so good? Well, you're going to have heart disease then, or you're going to have a bloody stroke or a heart attack. And if not that, you're at least having fart attacks right now because you're not digesting, right? Oh, I can't digest the fact that nobody loves me, or I can't seem to find it or have a good relationship. Anyways, I know I'm rattling here. Okay, it feels like Friday, but it's not because I guess, yeah. Just know that Saturday will be my last show, and then I'll be taking the show on the road, and we're off to Mexico. Okay. Now, let's keep going here. So I'm going to show you how to do the therapeutic vomiting, but I just want to say this. Take a look at my belly button therapy, and if you go to my do-it-yourself guide, watch the videos. Belly button therapy will release 70% of your serotonin, 50% of your dopamine, more endorphins than anything else that you could do by going and playing with your belly button. We'll understand something. That was your cord that attached you to life at the very beginning and the love of your mother. So when you go in here, right behind your belly button sits the main trigger for what we call the vagus nerve, which will trigger your parasympathetic, which is, I love my life. I'm healing right now. And that's why, people, when they have an autoimmune disease or it's attacking themselves, or actually they were attacking themselves first, they will never get well because they don't know how to get back into a parasympathetic state. They're always in a sympathetic state. When you're in a sympathetic state, there's no energy in healing. It's all in your arms and legs because you're always ready to run and you don't even know it because that's a program you're running. So take a look at belly button therapy, and please do it first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and also do it throughout the day. I have a lady that was doing belly button therapy 12 times a day, and it saved her bacon, got herself off of her drugs, her anxiety drugs, okay? And she started doing the clapping, and she saw that from the clapping, go look at my clapping guide, go to the do-it-yourself guide for this in my library, go look at the clapping guide and learn how to clap and get yourself a clapper. Both these things are on my website under equipment, right? So when you start clapping, if you start bruising, just know that you're a Susie Bruisey and you've been playing the victim role and eating toxic things, taking in toxic emotions. And when you clap, that's just the poison coming out of your tissues and the fluids in your body. And if you bruise, that's the poisons coming out of the tissues and the fluids in your body. If you don't bruise, then you're healthy. And everybody should always start off with clapping your lungs and heart for health, okay? And go take a look, like I said, that in my guide. Okay, let's move on. But the reality is, you know what? You're tying yourself up into knots. You've got issues in your tissues because you can't process emotions. Your emotions will first come into your stomach, negative emotions, and then they will go to the area or the organ of the body that correlates with that emotion. So, you know that birds of a feather flock together. You know that you send out a vibration and it comes back things that you want or don't want if you're an unconscious creator. So understand that when the emotions come in, they go through the stomach, and then they go into the different body parts, and that's what creates everything from a pimple to a tumor. That's what creates all the different physical illnesses that we have. I'll be going into that more. I just did a masterclass, didn't I? Yeah. Called Where the Mind Goes, the Body Follows. And my dear friend Drake is working on. He's going to add video to it, make it prettier. Okay, and then we're going to be releasing that. So now let's get back to this. So here's the deal. Right. oh my God, I feel sick to my stomach and I'm always feeling nauseous. I feel tight all the time. I feel pressure like I'm going to blow up or I'm going to have a heart attack. I feel heaviness and breathing on my lungs. I can't seem to breathe right. Okay, my stomach is always upset. I'm either nauseous or I have diarrhea or I have constipation. You got to understand something. I get sick and I have colds and flus all the time. Best way to get a cold and a flu is to stress the living crap out of somebody so that they mess up their hydrochloric acid. And then we get all these little bugs and critters getting past the stomach into the small intestine. And then they'll have a cold and a flu. You know what? I just got called from a lady. Her name is Anna, if you're watching, Anna. And she lives in New York. And she was really panicked. So she says she knows all these things, but even though she knows all these things, she pushes the panic button. And I'm saying this not to pick on her. Let me tell you something. It feels like I might be picking on people, but understand, I need people to understand you're being run by your subconscious, and if you're not in charge of it, then somebody else is. So she goes to emergency, they test her, they tell her she has COVID, and I said to her, please don't say that word. You can say cold and flu, and guess what? Right now we're getting close to September. So what happens in September? Oh, well, the body goes into a detox because of the change of climate to get you ready for the fall, to get you ready for the winter. And it happens in the fall and it happens in the spring. And that's why they're going to bring on all the rules for all these fools, because people are going to get the cold and the flu and we're all dying again and it's the end of the world. So anyways, I just told her, I said, please don't talk like this. Well, I know it's not true, but I can't. See, they can't even help themselves because they're running a program. Everybody's running a program. And she says to me, what should I do? And then I told her. And I'm going to do, when should I do that? Let me think. Friday. Friday, I'll do what I would do if I had the C, okay? Because I didn't want the V, because I just want to be me. How about that? Okay, so I'll do it Friday. How's that? Yeah. All right, we'll do it Friday. Yeah. Yeah, but we won't be doing it up here, will we? No, this is it. We're tearing this thing down. Okay, so where were we? Oh, yeah. So I get heartburn. I get pressure throughout my body. I get headaches. Okay, I get fever. Okay, here I feel upset in my stomach. My heart hurts. Let me tell you something. Go to your stomach. And what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to get warm water. You're going to fill up a glass. Depends on how big you are. But me, I will do about 2 to 3 of these. And I haven't done it for years. I swear I haven't. But when I would do it, I would do 2 or 3 of these. And I think when I was doing it, I was living way back in Toronto. So that was a long time ago. Okay? But it saved my bacon and it made me wake up that I needed to start being the master of my emotions. So anyways, I'll do 2 or 3 of these. I'll warm the water up. I'll drink. And then I'll just relax. And then I'll drink some more. And I'll relax. Okay, and then once I feel that I have filled up, okay, my stomach right here, 3/4 of the way full, then I'll do this. And if you have one of those, they have those massage guns now, you could just do that on there if you wanted. Hey, listen, if I had a jar and I wanted to clean the jar out because there was stuff in it stuck to it, what would I do? I'd fill it up with warm water. I'd fill it up maybe half or 3/4 of the way full, and then I would shake it, wouldn't I? And then I'd open up and rinse it, and then I would fill it up with warm water again. So you might have to do the therapeutic stomach flush 1, 2, or 3 times. 3 usually brings it home. That's about as much as you'd have to do it. Now, when you do a therapeutic stomach flush, you're looking for it to come out clear. Not yellow, not mucus strings, not all kinds of food particles that look like they've been in there forever. Okay, so you really want to wash this out. So don't be in a hurry. So take in your 1, 2, 3 glasses. 2, if you're an adult, you should be doing at least 2 of those. And you could do up to 3, but make sure you leave enough room. And you might vibrate in here. I'm serious. 5 to 10 minutes. Don't be in a hurry. So then what are you going to do after that? Well, let's say I started doing this and I started feeling really nauseous and I only did it for a minute. What does that tell you? It tells you that you are sensitive. You ever have people saying, I'm an empath or I'm highly sensitive? Okay, this means that they haven't gotten their emotions worked out yet. They haven't mastered them yet. Please, I feel things from everyone else. Whether you want to believe it or not, I'm highly intuitive. I can pick up on somebody's personality, what they're thinking, the way they are very quick. And if you haven't noticed that on my shows, then you will now that I've said it. So, but it doesn't mean that I take in their emotions that are hurting them and I hurt myself. And it's not about being cold, okay? It's about being smart, because understand something. Focus. You need to focus. Bring in what's healing, not what's going to make you sick. Okay, so let's that to the side. So now I'm going to get the warm water, and I'm also going to be not too far from the bathroom. I can be sitting there, make myself comfortable. So if you start doing it and you only get half glass down, and you do this and you start feeling nauseous, please just calm down. I would rather you did a full glass than a half glass. Here's the deal. Hydrochloric acid, if you do therapeutic vomiting, is going to burn your throat. It is really bad for your throat. It's really bad for your body. Don't ever let yourself throw up, okay, if you can help it, until you get as much water in there so you can dilute the acid and you can really, just to dilute everything. You know, you got to dilute that because you don't want to burn you. Now, so what we're going to do is, if we felt that, try to just drink more water. So if I got a half a glass, try to get a whole glass in. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take 3 fingers, not 1, not 2, but 3. Isn't that something? So then you're going to take your 3 fingers and you're going to put them right in the back of your throat. And you're going to hold them there. Don't do it so much that you gag yourself. Put them back as far as you can. Now, when you start to feel like you're going to throw up, your hand stays here. I'm sorry, but if you get a little bit on your hand, it's only going to come back to your knuckles, right? Would you like to have to wash off your hand so that you just detoxified? That's what we're doing. Get over it. Stop letting your subconscious make up excuses, okay? Go ahead and make up as many excuses as you want, but the reality is, if you don't clean that out, okay, things aren't going to get better. Now, this is not, therapeutic vomiting is not for everyone, but it should be for everyone. And if you told a medical doctor I told you to do therapeutic vomiting, he would say he's nuts. And that's because the doctor only knows what he knows, and if he hasn't been told to do it, he's not going to do it. Me, I've practiced enough, and I've had I'll tell my patients, this is the first time I've come on and done this live. But do you know why? Because I'm going to risk it. Okay, I got a lot of friends and family out there. It's called Earth Family, for God's sakes. And the reality is I know that some of you are going to do this, and it's going to save your bacon because you haven't learned how to calm down your emotions yet, or process, or to know that you need to honor, respect, and love yourself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. No, because you think that's wrong, because you've been taught that. And that's why we're in this bloody mess. So I'm going to keep my hand here. And I'm going to keep on letting that come out right into the toilet until it's all gone. Now, if it comes out and it's really murky, mucousy, yellowy, I'm going to just wash up. Okay? If you want, rinse your mouth, brush your teeth, whatever the case may be, and then start off again. So you're going to get another, and now this time you'll probably be able to take more. Because anybody that took a half a glass or even 3/4 of a glass, we already know they're so toxic emotionally and physically in there. Okay, so now we're going to go and try to go for 2 or 3, but only go as big as your stomach is, so 3/4 of the way, no more than that. Okay, so now we're going to do this, and we're going to do the vibration thing. And if it feels a little nauseating, just take a little break, because we want it to soak. Remember, it was nice warm to hot water, not hot, but in between warm and hot. And then we're going to do it again. Okay, and we're going to get really vigorous. But if we can soak it and do it for like 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to rock that show. And then when we're ready, okay, and it's usually what'll happen is you'll start to feel a little bit of salivating in your mouth, and that's because something's ready to come up. Not something's ready to come in, but something's ready to come out and out. So if you feel a little salivating, keep it going, and then you're going to feel your mouth water, and then you're going to feel that little bit of nauseousness. Get right over to the toilet. Okay, get those 3 fingers down. Do not pull them out, and wait till you see. If you got 2 glasses to 3 glasses of water out, you're just going to go, and it is going to be like, wow, what a relief. What a relief. You will find aches and pains throughout your body be gone. You will find your headache come down. If you have a migraine headache and you do therapeutic vomiting, a lot of times it's going to be gone. Okay? If you've got cancer, if you've got any problem, now if you see a little bit of blood, well, chill out. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Okay? If you don't want to do it again, don't do it again. If you want to give me a call, we can talk about it. But understand something. A little bit of blood is not the worst thing in the world. And if you don't believe me, then rush to the doctor and find out what he's got to say. That's what I would do. I don't want you to think that I'm your doctor. I don't want you to think that I think I even know anything. I just know what I know, and I do what I do, and I'm sharing what I do and what I would do if I was you, but I'm not you. So, what's going to happen is you might have to do the 1 to 2 to 3 glasses 3 times. Now, when we do the interview with Sharon, you're going to find out that she did it for a few days, and you're going to find out how it changed her life. And you're going to understand something, that this acidity turns into crystallization, steals the calcium from your bones, okay, creates scar tissue throughout your body. That's right. Isn't that something? Your stomach and that acid is creating, and it's creating lung damage, heart damage. It's even affecting your brain. It's affecting your day. It's affecting your moods. How do you feel when you're nauseous? How do you feel when you have heartburn? How does it feel when you can't breathe properly? That's the bottom line. So understand something. You do not make me sick to my stomach. You never would. And understand something. You can come to me with any situation because people are not stupid. They've been given stupid beliefs so that the elite and the corporations feed off of you 1 pound at a time. And if they can teach you that emotions don't matter, and that everybody's emotional, like they try to show you on TV. My God, every family on TV is psychotic, aren't they? Seriously. Okay? If they can make your subconscious believe that everybody's an emotional basket case, you'll just stay there, which means that you will wreck your stomach, and then you'll wreck your world. And they feed off our pain and suffering. So the best thing that you could do if you want to get at these people that are creating all this problem on this planet is to have a healthy, beautiful day in every way. God bless. Oh, and by the way, for the people, I just got to say this. Monday when I do my, Tuesday when I usually do my Extapa World Training and Healing Center show where I tell about what's going on, how to get there to Mexico, and what we're doing, and we'll answer any other health questions you have. And I mean any health questions, and don't be afraid to challenge me. But it won't be Tuesday because Tuesday I'm on the road. I'm heading to Mexico. But I will do my last show here on Monday, and we'll be just doing it on a computer, right?
Yeah.
Because the only thing we'll have is a computer, a laptop or something left. All right? And again, God bless. It's okay to love yourself unconditionally. I swear to God. Because that which we call God loves you unconditionally. God bless. So what is a New World Practitioner? Well, a New World Practitioner is somebody that understands that training comes before treatment.
Have I noticed any changes in myself since taking this course? Oh, yes. Yes, I have. I definitely have.
There's so much more ahead of you, and there's so much more that you can find within yourself, and there's so much that you can let go of to free yourself. And I'm excited to be able to help others find their power.
It's not a treatment. It's like a restoration. You can renew your body. And I didn't understand what was preventing me from healing.
I guess this is where I kind of get emotional because Daryl truly cares, not only for himself, but humanity in general. And he wants to educate people to live their best lives and learn to love themselves first before anybody else.
the Whole Life Coach certification. We go deeper in that 8 days than anybody else goes when it comes to learning how the invisible creates the physical, the psychological creates the biological. And we teach you about energy medicine and about vibration and frequency because that's all it is.
He really cares for everybody. He wants to educate as many people as he can, their own healers / practitioners. He wants to get the knowledge out.
Dr. Wolf and the whole crew, Sage and his bodywork techniques, learning it, everybody here has just been so incredible. They're so supportive. It's been a really cool experience.
I've seen nothing but incredible results day after day, hour by hour, while they work on people who get finally the effect and result that they've looked for everywhere else and never got. So they're amazing, amazing.
On a daily thing, I'm becoming more flexible and more pain-free. It's a process of treatments because of the damage I've done to my body. But yeah, I expect to be doing backflips. You know, I'm 64 years old. I'll be doing backflips.
When it comes to the Wolf non-surgical certification, nobody can pull fibroids apart or reverse joint, muscle, tendon, ligament problems or scar tissue from surgery quicker than we can. And we offer a money-back guarantee to all our patients. Now, why would we do that? Because we pull off the I am possible and we reverse the irreversible.
They're so professional, yet so fun. They know how to push you to your limit. They encourage you, so it's all positive training, and really every one of them has a piece that they offer to the business, and they don't miss things. They let you go to the next level.
To use my love and light to be in service of others, and that's part of healing, right? Where as my elbow is connecting to that skin, you know, I'm delivering my frequency to the person that's seeking that work, you know, because I will always have that love and light inside me.
And a New World practitioner understands that you can't give what you're not. So until you understand that unconditional love and care for oneself is what you need to become so that you can give that to your patients, don't expect a different outcome than every other practitioner out there. And that's what we teach here, because you need to become what you want to see in all of your patients.